just said if you have r equals 4, this is called polar or rectangular equation. We said polar or rectangular. Now who can tell me polar or rectangular? If I say r equals 4, I will have two answers. It's polar because we have r. We don't have x and y. So that is polar equation. If you graph that equation, it will give you a circle. How did we know? I have another message. Because you said before, r, it's the radius. The radius gives you a circle. How come? We thought now, what is the value of r? Yeah, r means root or r squared. R squared means x squared plus y squared. I have just said that. Do you remember? So what is the value of r? Root x squared plus y squared. So we can say root x squared plus y squared equals 4. To remove that root, square the two sides. So x squared plus y squared equals 16. Look, equation of a circle. Without doing these steps, you have to understand or memorize that if you have a radius equals 4 only, look, radius only, we have no theta. So it's a circle. On polar coordinate, you have circles like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. The fourth circle is r equals 4, this one. This graph of r equals 4. So the radius gives you a circle. Okay? The radius gives you a circle. Right. What about if I don't have r? If I have, for example, r equals 4 cosine theta, or 4 r equals 4 negative 4 cosine theta. If you have cosine theta, concentrate all of you and try to memorize it. Cosine theta makes also a circle, but that circle has radius. This, by the way, if I write r equals 4 cosine theta, that 4 is not the radius like here. I said the radius equals 4. Okay? If you have r equals 4, we have circle. That circle, its center is 0 and 0. Okay? That circle r equals 4, the red one, its center 0 and 0. Now what about if you have r equals 4 cosine theta? Also you have a circle, but that circle on the positive part of x-axis. If this x-axis or this 0 degree, your circle is here. Look. It touches the point of origin. Its center, this, by the way, that 4 is not the radius. That 4 is the diameter. Think about that. We'll not graph, we'll just make rough graph. That 4 is the diameter. Okay? So the radius of that circle is 2. So that circle, its center is here. It's 2, radius 2 here. Okay? If this number is positive, your circle on the positive part of x-axis. If you have negative 4, also you have a circle. On which part? On the negative part of x-axis here. Also, it's this 4 is the diameter. Take care, diameter. Okay? So if you have cosine, your circle on the positive part of x-axis, if you have positive number here. And if you have negative number, it's on the negative part of x-axis. So this for cosine theta. And this one, r equals negative 4 cosine theta. Okay? So cosine theta tells you your circle on x-axis. If that number positive, it's on the positive part. If that number negative, it's on the negative part of x-axis. Okay. One of you may ask, Mr. What about not theta, not cosine? What about sine? Because we said cosine on x-axis, so you can guess where will be your circle if you have sine. Who can guess? Because we said r equals x cosine theta. Look, x equals, x cosine theta gives you r. So if you have cosine, your circle on x-axis, on the positive part, if it's that number positive. If that number beside cosine negative, your circle on the negative part. What about if I have r equals 4 also, no problem, cosine, sine theta. Your circle will be on y-axis. Will be on y-axis. It will be here. Like that. The center, this 4 also is diameter. Means our radius is 2. So that is the center. This part is 2. This part is 2. This if you have positive. If you have positive, your circle on the positive part of y-axis. Now, what about if I have negative? Negative 4 sine theta. Negative 4 sine theta. Your circle will be on the negative part of y-axis. The center will be here because this 4 means we have 2 here and 2 here. Okay. So we thought r gives you a circle, but that circle, its center is 0 and 0. If you have cosine, if you have r equal 4 cosine theta, if that number is positive, your circle on the positive part of x-axis. If that number negative, your circle on the negative part of y-axis. What about sine? If you have sine, your circle on the positive part of y-axis, if that number is positive. If you have sine, your circle on the negative part of y-axis, if that number is negative. Okay, so cosine on x-axis, sine on y-axis, positive on the right or up, negative on the left or down. Okay. The last one, we don't say theta. If I say theta equals 20 or 30 degrees, that theta gives you a line or gives you a circle? Because r radius gives you a circle, so theta gives you, we have an answer here. Also it gives you a line. That theta gives you a line. One of you may ask why, Mr. It gives me a line. I will tell you why. Look, just a second, let me erase. If you have theta, you can make it rectangular form. Who can remind me, how will I make theta in rectangular form? Now it's in polar, this is polar equation. How will I make it in rectangular form? If you have theta, we said we'll find the tangent of the two sides. We can say tan theta equals tan 30. Tan theta means y over x equals tan 30 means if you use the calculator to find tan 30, it will give you 1 over root 3. Cross product, so y equals 1 over root 3x. This is an equation of a line. That line, by the way, on 30 degrees, angle of 30 degrees, like that. This will be 30 degrees. So I will give you some graphs now and try to tell me what will be our answer. Do you have any question till now? Okay. We have a question? No, we don't have. If you have any question, ask, because we will graph now, roughly graphs. It's not accurate graphs. Here, R graph, R equals 5. Who can tell me? What will I do if I have R equals 5? Where will I put the circle? If you concentrate on the graph, he did here. 1 means this is the first circle. 2, the second, the third circle. 4 means the fourth. 5, the fifth. So I will have a circle here. On the fifth line. this is r equals 5. Okay.